But seriously, so Peter's bringing up an interesting point here. With Goff, is it that Sean McVay or Ben Johnson was just like the key here? They're magicians of sorts as offensive minds, and Jared Goff is the beneficiary, and now that he doesn't have either one of those, he's just going to come back down to earth and become a Cinderella of sorts? Or is it just that he had a week one struggle?
I would tell you that quarterbacks are often tied to their play caller. And the play caller elevates the quarterback. And when the play caller's gone, it drops the quarterback down. I think that when you look at all the great quarterbacks in our league right now, they're often attached to really good play callers. And that doesn't make Jared Goff a lesser quarterback. It's just the reality of the world. It's hard to play that position when you don't have advantages created by your play call. And so I think Jared's shown who he is with big-time play callers. And I think a lot of quarterbacks would have struggled this past weekend in Detroit's offense. I don't think there's a lot of guys that would have found success.
I look at it, and it's only week 2, and we can all overreact. But at the same time, to your point, Shregs, the situation that's in front of us, Ben Johnson is coming back to Detroit. It's like the kid left to go to college, and he called back to check on mom and dad, and they're going through it. They done found out they don't like each other. They're on the brink of divorce. So, like, Ben Johnson's coming back, and he's looking at this home, and now for Jared Goff, for Dan Campbell, for Johnny Morton, like, you have to figure this thing out, because I look at this offense. If they go in there, it's not about winning or losing the game. If this offense look like it's in complete disarray, and we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and his yards per catch that he has, the explosive element completely being removed, we're really going to question what Jared Goff can do.
Before you jump, let me say something. For everyone who wants to go, well, Jared Goff, guess what? Jahmyr Gibbs is great. He didn't look like Jahmyr Gibbs. Sam Laporta's really good. Didn't look like Sam Laporta. Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't look like Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it's not just the quarterback feeling the loss of Ben Johnson.
I would add this. There's a lot of noise in Detroit this week. Dan Campbell seemed a little frustrated with the reporters who kept on asking questions. John Morton seems to what is that, right? So there seems to be a lot of noise after 1 week. I think Goff is a made man in this league. 4-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl appearance, I think it's crazy. At 30 years old, he still has those critics. And yet, that stat is damning. 3-18-1 when he doesn't have McVay or Ben Johnson on those sidelines.
By the way, here's another stat that may be encouraging for Lions fans. Goff has won his last 10 games following a loss.
Let's go.
Likes to bounce back.
Come on, Jared. We can find whatever numbers we want.
Positivity, Laura.
Dan, you first. Is Jaden Daniels in with at least 45 rushing yards tonight?
I'm going to go more. And the reason why is I expect Washington to play no huddle, try to put Micah Parsons in conflict, meaning not block him. And so you got to pay attention to Jaden. You got to pay attention to Debo. I think Micah's going to be over aggressive at times. Maybe think when he's tired. That's going to allow Jaden to run. Also, when he's rushing, Jaden ain't going to hang back there in the pocket and let Micah chase him down. I expect him to take off a couple times as well.
Peter, speaking of Micah, he got his first sack as a Packer last week. He was hunting people down. Over under half a sack for him tonight.
Well, I think the more interesting over will be whether he gets more than 30 snaps. I think he will. I think he's going to be on the field a bit. He's had a history with Jaden Daniels, played him twice, and he did sack him a few times. I'm going to say over. Micah Parsons gets at least 1 sack tonight.
Hey, we're hammering the over so far. J-Mac, Matthew Golden had 2 catches in his NFL debut last week. Over under 2.5 receptions for him in this one.
We're hammering the over. I might as well go ahead and stick with it. I'm going over on this, and I hate to do it because it's a wide receiver. I want DBs to blanket these guys. But at the same time, Matthew Golden was open quite a bit in their game this past week. I think the coaches go back and look at it. They're saying, hey, let's figure out a way to get this guy some more touches and targets. I think it happens tonight.
All right, now listen, y'all, a $10 bet on this would win you just under 45 bucks.
Let's go.
Hey, big buddy.
Hey, we were close last week.
These guys are hitting them.
We were close last week now.
Close. No, 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah, I hit. I don't know what they did.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
It was Dan that didn't hit.
Come on.
Okay, football is back, and right now, new ESPN Bet customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 bet. Score more from the game with the Sportsbook for sports fans. Sign up with the promo code LIVE to get started today. All right, let's talk Bengals, you guys, and Joe Burrow. Cincinnati won, but in a rare occasion, Joe Burrow struggled. Actually, it was the defense that stepped up, not the story last year. A little change for this season so far. Burrow completed just 14 of 23 passes for 113 yards and a touchdown. Dan, do you see the issues from last week arising again for Burrow and company as the Jags come to town, or is that just a one-week thing for him?
That was a Myles Garrett thing. that was Joe Burrow
That makes sense.
on multiple occasions leaving the pocket too soon. And it's not that he doesn't trust it or it didn't feel that way week one. It was, don't let Myles Garrett ruin the game. Don't let Myles Garrett ruin the game. And as the game went on, you would justify and say, yeah, I understand where Joe's coming from. So Joe's one of the, if not the best, pocket manipulators and movers in the league. And so I would fully expect that we see a little bit more of that vintage Joe Burrow in the pocket, because you're not sitting there going, Myles Garrett's on the field every single snap, and I can't allow him to ruin the game because we can't block him.
This offense is so loaded, both on paper and on the field, and they've got so much consistency from last year. There is no unknown. I mean, Zach Taylor's been the coach for 5 years with Joe Burrow. Dan Pitcher, the offensive coordinator, has been with him all 5 years. All those weapons, this is at least their second year together. I would expect them to come out guns blazing, fired up, and lighten the ball all over the field at home against a Jaguars defense that isn't even close to what they saw against Cleveland. That was an anomaly, and I know we make excuses for everyone here and there, and we say, well, this one, I truly believe Joe Burrow is still going to be on pace to break records this year. That's how good this offense is. Yeah. I wouldn't look too far into week one.
Yeah, not many quarterbacks have great numbers against Myles Garrett.
And I'd also say, there's 4 or 5 throws in that game that are sideline missed by a toe that if they make those catches, there's 27 snaps, or 27 points. So you remember the Myles Garrett hit?
Yes.
Joe Burrow put that ball flawlessly on the sideline, and they just don't drag the toe.
What are you going to do? Okay, so Peter alluded to it, but J-Mac, is there a spot in that Jags defense you think Burrow can really take advantage of?
I'm very interested in, we've already heard Liam Cohen say that Travis Hunter is going to play more on the defensive side of the ball this week. And I'm excited to see him be able to do that. If I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, what I would challenge with Travis Hunter is how much can he communicate with the rest of the defense? I would put him in stacks and bunches. I would motion and have him involved in that. One of the challenges when you're going both ways for him is going to be time on task. For the guys in the defensive secondary, you're doing things week in and week out, day in and day out, and you're communicating and you're talking about the way you're going to play things. You're going to miss some of that when you're on the other side of the ball. If you just line him up on the outside and let him go one-on-one against somebody, you're making the job easier for him. Involve him in all of the things that forces communication amongst the defense.
This was crazy to me. Burrow has never won a Week 2 game in his career. He's 0-5. So here's a chance. Well, some of the time he was hurt. Some of the times they just struggled with those slow starts. He did play in the preseason this year.
Get to 2-0. Can I change everything I said about him bouncing back?
I love a stat like that. All right, new on NFL Live. Browns defensive back Grant Delpit may have made an enemy at his press conference today. Listen to this.
How does, knowing that you have to be concerned about Derrick Henry, how does that make Lamar Jackson even more effective?
They either got to run the ball or pass the ball. So, that's their 2 best players on offense.
Okay, so that if you missed it, talking about tackling Derrick Henry, saying it just really ain't no thing. J-Mac, you played against Henry, and we dove into the tape, so we've got the evidence here. No. This is good. Look at his face. Check this out. Check this out.
Don't do my guy wrong.
I'm nervous.
J-Mac against Derrick Henry. So you see it on the screen.
All right, come on,
J-Mac's there at the top on the screen.
Make a play.
We got motion.
There's Marcus Mariota.
Come on,
Get out of here. Get out of there. Okay, get out of there. Do your assignment, baby. This is year 10. Year 10, you got to start to make business decisions. I'm about, go ahead, 32 years old, Derrick Henry, young, spry, maybe 26, 27, 250 pounds. I'm a $190. Hey, what's up, Mariota? Yeah, you got it. They won that game. I will say.
Yeah, go on.
We won the Super Bowl that year.
Hey, dunked on him.
Marcus Mariota was not beating you that play.
He was not. You didn't make any plays in the Super
No,
Bowl.
you were nothing in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know, it's a joke.
Game saving, Super Bowl saving.
He made the Super Bowl saving play.
I have an idea. Next week on this show, bring your Super Bowl ring.
Oh, wow.
Put that thing out. Just subtle.
I'll bring mine.
Here. Oh.
Did UConn win a?
You got a replica of
game?
somebody else's, or yeah. All right.
J-Mac
Go
goes out, by
Puppies.
the way, we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That was incredible. By the way, none of this is ever planned, and that just happened. So amazing. All right, still ahead. The Packers and Commanders face off at Lambeau Field tonight. Find out how the dual threat quarterback Jaden Daniels can keep the Packers D on their heels. That's next.
Guys, they benched him for Gronk in the Miami Miracle. So that's a far more damning highlight.
Oh my God.